welcome to Narrowboat Vloggl. This week we're rounding up the best bits from recent Narrowboat vlogs. This week's episode is brought to you in association with Insure for Boats. Vin from Narrowboat Cruising Lifestyle starts his quest to get down to London.
Morning all, hope you're well. Today we're going to go down the River Stolt from Tednambury Lock to Feats Lock. It's a bit breezy this morning, and as I'm going into Tednambury Lock, the side wind's catching me and pushing me over to the left. Well, that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. In all honesty, it is awkward to handle one of these when you've got a side wind pushing you sideways. If you ask some boaters out there, some other narrowboaters, hopefully they'll tell you the same. You wouldn't think that a little bit of wind would be able to push a 15-ton narrowboat around so easily. But it does. The sun's just starting to break through and it's warming up a bit. And I'm starting to feel a bit overdressed, as it was quite nippy when I started the cruise. I think I'll get a bit daring and take my hat off. If I can remember rightly, I think it gets really beautiful after this lock, but I'll let you be the judge of that.
Johnny from Project Narrowboat returns to the cut and continues his journey along the Oxfordshire Canal.
This week I'll be continuing my journey along the Oxford Canal. I'll be heading north from Crop Ready along to the Claydon Flight. I give the bow a nudge out and I'm ready to set off. Croppedy is a popular spot with boaters. There's long-term and winter moorings as well as good quality moorings for the passer-by. Well, the first lock of the day is set in my favour, and long may it continue. I'll tell you what, first day back cruising, and it actually feels like summer. I set off for what I hope will be the last leg of my journey, for today at least. Well, wouldn't you know it, half a lock away from mooring for the day. I seem to have encountered a bit of a problem. I can't get the lock to fill, and the reason for that is because one of the paddles on the gates that I'm coming through, it looks as though it's shut, but when you look very carefully there's about sort of half an inch or an inch on the mechanism. I've tried lifting it up again to clear it, you know, push a bit of water through, tried dropping it down again, and I can't do anything with it really. I guess I'll have to let CRT know there's a bit of a problem with this one. I don't know if it's a branch jammed in it or something. And at the moment, I don't know if I'm going to go out through the top gates or reverse back up and moor down there and cut my losses. So I'll have a jiggle about with it and report back in a minute.
Ryan and Maggie from the Narrowboat Chef struggle to complete their bathroom renovation, but get the job finished and are very happy with the results.
So we've finished the shower, more or less. We just need to seal off a few bits and pieces. And now we're going to continue with the rest of our bathroom. So to finish off our bathroom, we need to put together our new vanity unit with a basin and sort out some pipes and stuff. And obviously we need to still do the floor. And the floor is going to be a bit different. But yeah, that's going to be probably the last job, will be the floor. We need to get everything in place first.
We have drilled all the holes and hopefully they will all fit.
Yeah, this is the test run. We've measured it all, so hopefully,
It'll
it
fit.
goes in now. I'm going to lift it over that. And then our pipes should just quite easily come up through the back. Yeah, I'd say that works.
Yeah, brilliant.
Nice job, Ryan.
Yeah, you did it too. You did all the measuring.
I did all the measuring, yeah. We just won't mention the...
No, we're not mentioning that, Maggie.
the extra hole that we accidentally drilled on the wrong side.
Yeah, well, we got excited about drilling holes and the holes were working out so well. And we're like, oh, this is going to be so easy. Let's drill the next hole. And then we realised it was on the wrong side and we're just like, oh, we don't need that hole. Oh, well, c'est la vie.
At least it's on the side when nobody's ever going to see it.
Good.
This side is fine. This side is perfect. So we had a bit of
A breakdown?
Yeah, a bit of a breakdown yesterday while we were trying to figure out how we were going to fit our drain, our waste thing, to our
new basin
and get it to flow out into the canal. But in the end, we went back to B&Q, which is the hardware store here in the UK.
And we were in the plumbing aisle, like picking up almost everything,
every piece,
trying to fit bits and pieces together and that. And this guy, random, just not a staff member, just a tradesman, a plumber himself, was just walking by and asked us, "You guys look really lost. Can I help you with something?"
And oh my gosh, we explained to him the situation, and I kid you not, I love this guy because he came up with a solution for us, because he obviously knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And because what we were looking for was essentially just a bit that would automatically just fit onto this, and then a bit that would go smaller onto our smaller pipe. That
or
goes
some
out
kind of fitting that would allow,
yeah. We don't know about reducers and all this sort of thing. So anyway, he came along and he
suggested,
listened to us, and then he suggested these things, and so we got us a little reducer, which is this plastic bit in here
that fits into this tiny bottle.
This is a tiny little bottle trap, which we managed to get again from that first plumbing place that I went to. They had a small one rather than the bigger ones at B&Q. And so he said the reducer, put some plumbing cement.
Yeah, plumbing cement in there with put a bit of pipe
bit of pipe, and then that little bit of pipe will connect to our drain pipe that goes out.
Yeah.
So, whoever you are,
thank you.
Thank you. You literally saved our sanity.
Oh yeah, we were losing it. Oh, it was a nightmare.
I almost teared up in the B&Q when you gave us that solution. So thank you.
We were at the point where, like, you know what, screw it, we'll just put a bucket underneath and just have to empty the bucket every day or so.
Yeah, it was getting to that point.
Yeah, it was getting to that point.
Dave from Narrowboat Changing Pace talks through how they fitted out their narrowboat.
The fit out started in earnest with me battening the whole boat out. I used tannalized timber for this job. I made some brackets so that the standoff from the gunnel was uniform. This allowed me to get everything straight and lined up, ready for the boarding to go on. Insulation I used was rock wool, thicker rock wool below the gunnels, 100mm, and 50mm above the gunnels. This turned out to be a big mistake, but at the time we didn't know that. These boards were bought from Magnum Motorhomes in Grimsby. They are 8mm marine ply with a white laminate fascia on them, and we bought them in bulk and got them at a very good price. The lights that you can see are LEDs. We bought those from Bedazzled, and on various blogs you'll see on our website, Narrowboat Changing Pace, I talk about these things as well.
On Earl's Rights, Leviathan is finally at a stage where Liz can move on board.
I have some news. I'm moving on to Leviathan this weekend. I've kept this pretty quiet because I just wanted to get on with it. My priority was just to get on with it and work really hard to be able to fund this. And I just don't really know what to say, but I'm moving on this weekend. So without further ado, this is her in her current state, and so happy. It just feels so amazing because I've been waiting for this for so long. I want to go home and pack up my stuff now. And tell me Mum and Dad, they're going to be so pleased.
In news from the water, Peter Underwood explains what the Canal and River Trust new terms and conditions mean for boaters.
I'm Peter Underwood. This is news from the water. New terms and conditions create a dual licence system for the first time. We now have the latest version of Canal and River Trusts terms and conditions for boaters. Why is that important? Well, the current changes overturn a decision made by Parliament back in 1995 to deny what was then British Waterways permission to create a separate continuous cruiser licence, which would have opened up the possibility of treating and charging one group of boaters differently from others. And at the same time, boaters with a mooring now face the possibility of being thrown off CRT waters if they stick around in one area for too long. Another change to the simple rules set out in the 1995 law. These extra rules and changes imposed in the latest terms and conditions have the potential to impact boaters of all persuasions, those with and without a mooring.
Tailors aboard meet another 70-foot boat on a tight corner on the shallow Leicester Canal. Things don't go so well and they use their anchor for the first time.
This is tight. He's going in the reeds.
Yeah, it's tight going around here.
Thanks, mate. Sorry about that. It's always on a corner, isn't it? Corners, isn't it?
Got rid of the reeds if you like.
Yeah. Sorry, thank you. Where were we?
Dad's
Dad's going to go in the reeds. Oh, we can't even make the intro about something happening. Picking up some stink. Look at that.
I think we're stuck in the reeds now. Well, the boat's gone now, so we're going to reverse right back now.
I can't turn the boat because we're in the reeds. I know. I've really fucked it.
It's not as if we could get...
You're going to have to...
Can you push against anything or not, Josh? I think it's just going into the mud. That's the trouble.
Go on Dan, quick! Put the tiller that way! Jesus Christ, what a morning! My God!
Peter, from Winging It, boating on a budget, builds a unique shower tray.
And yeah, I'm building a shower tray. Before I had to build the tray though, I need to get the wall boarded. Just some 5.5mm ply for now, obviously cut and scribed to fit the shapes. Once all the shower tray and everything's in, we'll then be skidding all these areas with something like that plastic wet wall, something like that. Obviously needs to be waterproof and it needs to make sure all the water from in and around the shower ends up in that shower tray so it can be pumped out. This is going to be our shower tray. Nothing like you'll have ever seen on a boat or in a house before. This is going to be a wooden shower tray made with the same timber as what I've made that toilet with. Once it's actually made up as a rectangle, the inside of it will all be fiberglassed to make it waterproof. There won't be a drain in the bottom of this shower. Not a drain coming out the bottom at all. The final piece of the jigsaw is, because I'm going to fiberglass all in here, fiberglass is really strong other than on 90-degree corners. It doesn't like 90-degree corners. So what you need to do is build out that bottom corner. I say that as though I know what I'm talking about. I've never done fiberglassing. This and a few repairs on the body will be my learning curve. Here we've got the fiberglass system that we're going to use then. And this lot weren't cheap, were it? It weren't cheap at all. I mean, obviously we run through the costings from time to time, but we're looking at about 150 quid there, aren't we? Basically we've gone for this West Systems, haven't we? We've been recommended this by quite a few people, and seemingly it's sort of some of the best stuff you can buy, although it's not the cheapest.
No.
We've obviously not done this sort of thing before, so we thought if we got the best stuff, the right stuff, we're eliminating sort of one of the ticky issues that could go wrong, can't we?
Did we buy the cheapest, so it's gone worse?
Yeah, if we bought cheap stuff and it don't work, then we'd think, well, was that the reason or whatever. At least we know, as best we can, we've got the right stuff, we've got a good quality stuff.
Julie and Mark from We're on the Move moved their boat for the first time since getting the puppies and get stuck in a boat traffic jam.
Well, that was a stressful start to the day. The puppies have never been on a boat that's moved before. We know that they don't like travelling in a car. Yesterday we took them to the vets. Ernie pooed 4 times and was sick 3 times, and Bertie was sick once. Now we're moving the boat. We're just totally unsure as to the best way to deal with the dogs. We did think about putting them in their crates, but that didn't work because Bertie just got frantic, and to be honest, it was more, it just wasn't comfortable for him. So we now got them on the floor with Julie sat in there trying to keep them calm. But of course that's fine for this stretch where there are no locks. But when we come to a section where there are locks, then Julie's going to need to be outside the boat. And the dogs were only vaccinated yesterday against parvo disease, which means they can't touch the ground for another week.
So the dogs settled. Didn't think they were going to. They were quite barky at the time. But they have settled down nicely now, so fingers crossed. They're actually asleep, so they've settled in really, really well. As I say, bit of a barky start at first. I think they're not too sure. We'd both left the room, so there was a bit of separation anxiety there, but they've settled down nicely. They're fast asleep, and we're just cruising the last little bit to the water point.
So we've got some fun going on here at the moment. We've got a wide beam coming forwards. We're stuck on the mud. We've got a big holiday boat behind us that is trying to get through. Hopefully the holiday boat is actually going to move off of the side, but we will see.
Today's episode has been curated and narrated by Lisa Warner and edited by Samuel Morris. This episode has been brought to you in association with Insure for Boats. Head over to vloggl.com to find out more.